You know what's something that no one will ever make me feel ashamed about? Being a mother of one and not wanting to have any more kids.
So, just as we have child free by choice women coming out to tell people their decision for never having to, they don't want to have children at all. And people saying that, oh, you're going to regret your choices, or you're selfish, or you don't care about the world, or you're this, you're that, or you're going to die alone, you're going to be lonely, who is going to take care of you when you're old, who are you going to run to, how do we fulfill the earth? You know, we get all those kind of response when it comes to child free by choice women. So there are women as well that are one and done, and people also come for them. People tell them that you're going to regret your choices. Why would you say you just want to have one child and not have another child again? That is wrong. You're selfish. How can you not give your child a sibling? I was an only child, and da 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 da. I was the only child when I was small, and my mother did not give me sibling. I was bored. A lot of people will always come for them and make it look as if it is so abnormal for you to just decide that you just want to have one child and it's over, right? Are you the only child in your family? How does it feel to be the only child in your family? Let us know that in the comment section. Are you a mom of one and done? Like you've had one and you're like, nope, I'm not doing this again. This is not for me. Let us know that in the comment section because I have videos of women coming to share why they are one and done and they are not going back, right? They've decided that, you know what, this journey, it's not my own. And what do you think about women that decide to choose to be one and done? Do you feel like if you want to have children, have at least two or three? Have from like two children and above, or if you want to have children, having one children is just being said. What is your take on mothers that decide to be one and done? Let's have conversation in the comment section respectfully while I wrote a clip for you all to watch to the end. I'll share my thoughts at the end of the video.
You know what's something that no one will ever make me feel ashamed about? Being a mother of one and not wanting to have any more kids. I don't care who you are, you will never, ever make me feel bad about that. Having kids is a huge responsibility, and I love spending my money where I want to spend it. I love sleeping in. I love traveling whenever I want to. I love having a small, cute, compact car and not having to worry about the stroller or my two car seats fitting in the back. I love this soft parent life. I don't know if that's the saying for this, but I just love it. I love it here. I love not having to wake up to cries or having to breastfeed a child every other hour. I just love it here. Usually get a follow-up question when I say like I'm one and done. People are like, well, don't you feel bad that your child will never have a sibling? Or don't you feel bad that when you grow up, you're not going to have grown kids that come visit you or come take care of you when you're ill? And honestly, no, because here's two things, okay? I know people that have siblings. Whether it's one sibling, whether it's five siblings, and guess what? They have them all blocked. Whether they got in an argument over the family's estates, or one sibling was the favorite over the other, or some bullshit like that. So having siblings to be around your children for the rest of their life, that's not guaranteed. Two, I am not having kids. I'm not bringing a kid into this world to hopefully get some sort of care from them when I get old. I would never bring a soul into this world expecting them to do something for me when I'm the one that brought them here, right? I kind of wish that people would stop asking these stupid ass questions after I mentioned that I will never have another kid, but at the same time, it's kind of like, I'll argue with this for the rest of my life because you cannot change my mind on why it's better to have multiple children over my one that I have to worry about. So, I don't know.
I seen a video on here that by this lady talking about why she is one and done, and I couldn't stitch it. So I'm gonna tag her below so you can watch her video because it was really nice. But I want to add on to this because I am also one and done. And if you see my other video I made where I was telling women like to kind of take their time with having children. But this one is going to be about why I'm one and done. Having one fucking kid, and I have a 9-year-old, okay? I'm at the easy part. But it is so easy to have one child. Like, whether you make a lot of money or a little bit of money, caring for one child is fucking easy. Like, I don't have to worry about strollers anymore, diapers. I don't have to worry about, like, struggling to find a sitter because he's 9 years old. So he has friends' houses he can go to. Everybody wants to watch him like it's just him. Times when I wasn't making as much money in life, it really didn't affect my child too much because I only had one kid. So, like, let's say I was, like, down on my luck and I wanted to take us out. I could go get one meal and split it between my one child, like me and him, like, and it would have been okay. There was also a point in my life, because I was a single mom, that I couldn't afford a 2-bedroom and I had to get a 1-bedroom. And I remember thinking, like, I'm so lucky to have one child, because what I ended up doing in that situation is I gave him the bedroom and I slept on the couch. But, like, if I had 2 kids or 3 kids, like, I wouldn't be able to do that. I would always kind of have to have a bigger space. And no shade to you if you do have multiple kids and you have a 1-bedroom, because I know as a mom, we're going to do what we got to do. People always be like, oh, you don't want to give him siblings? You don't feel bad that he doesn't have siblings? No, because I was an only child up until I was 15 years old, and I love my siblings. I hope they don't see this, but I really liked being an only child better. Like, an only child is fucking spoiled. Period. Being an only child is nice. I don't give a fuck about, I don't want to share nothing with anybody. I don't want to split my parents and my resources. Like, I really don't. Plus, his dad has had 4 more kids, so he got other siblings over there. I don't gotta have them. And I have a lot of nieces, nephews. My mom actually had a lot of more kids later on in life, so he has a bunch of uncles and aunties that's really like cousins, so he'll be fine. But I love having one child. Like, it is so fucking easy. Like, it was hard in the beginning because babies are hard. But the older that he gets, like, having one child is fucking great. I spoil the fuck out of him. And I'm able to because I only got one. I also struggle with the fact of knowing that I had my first child with the person who I would never give another child to. And it does really scare me that if I had another child and that father was just this great, amazing father, how that might make my son feel. And again, I know this personally because all of my siblings' dads, other than mine, they're great dads. And that shit did kind of hurt my feelings a little bit. And, you know, not that it's their fault or anything, but it's hard watching your siblings have, like, such a great dad, and their dads, you know, call me daughter and they treat me the same, but at the end of the day, I'm not really their daughter, so it'll never feel like that. And I wouldn't want my son to feel like that either, because I know how it feels. When I had my son, I also gained a lot of weight. I was 140 pounds before I had my son. After I had him, I was 230 pounds. I do not ever want to go through that kind of big body change ever again in life. I'm sorry. Like, I've even thought about, like, if I ever did have another kid, maybe in years, I'm going to have to adopt, because a baby coming out of this body after I done lost all that weight, it's not happening. Because clearly my body just gains weight like a fucking whale when I get pregnant. So not doing that again. It's also way easier for me to travel. Like, I've took my son so many places. He's been to Hawaii. He has been to Vegas. He's been to both Disneyland parks in LA and in Florida. He has been to New York. He has been to Miami. Like, he has been really a lot of places. And when I used to be booking these trips and, like, even paying to get into amusement parks and things, like, I would be like, damn, I'm glad I got one kid, because that shit's expensive. Like, I couldn't imagine paying for 3 and 4 plane tickets and 3 and 4 Disney tickets. Like, my kids might not have never went if I had more kids, especially with the way inflation is now. And also, becoming a mom, I realized as much as I love my son, I do not enjoy, I don't want to sound bad, but being a mom is really not for me. Like, I don't see myself being a mom of 4 and 5 kids, because motherhood just did not really do it for me. Like, it just didn't do it for me. Like, I'm hella unserious. I play too motherfucking much, and I'm selfish. I was an only child and I liked it. Okay, I liked it. Like when National Siblings Day come around, it's always a big joke in the family because I'd be like, I don't celebrate because I'm not happy to have siblings. Like I wish she would have stopped. Don't eat me up too much on here, y'all. I'm just being honest, as I always am. And yeah, those are the reasons why I'm one and done. And can't nobody shame me, make me feel bad, or coerce me into having any more kids any fucking time soon.
Okay, so I have been seeing this trend about being one and done with having kids, and I was going to stitch a couple of the moms that I saw sharing about it and their reasoning behind why they were one and done, but I figured I would do an in-depth video about some of the things that I've been hearing. And let me start out by saying, I support every single mom, whatever their decision is. But there was something that kept coming up in a lot of the videos that were popping up on my For You page. And I wonder if TikTok maybe did that on purpose because TikTok knows what I have to say about it. The common thing that I was hearing between these few moms that I saw on my For You page was that the reason why they were one and done was because of the physical stress they had during their pregnancy and postpartum. They were talking about how much pain they were having during pregnancy, how much discomfort they were having during postpartum, having their abdominals split and feeling like their organs were spilling out, having pain with intercourse, leaking, having constipation, back pain, things that were like debilitating and not allowing them to enjoy their pregnancy or postpartum. And so this was their reason why they were one and done, and rightfully so. I absolutely support that. If you were miserable in a situation, I would be one and done too. But I am here to say that you don't have to have pain and discomfort during pregnancy and postpartum. And so this is the misconception that because one pregnancy or postpartum experience isn't enjoyable or it's painful and there's a lot of discomfort, that it is normal and that it has to happen. And that's not the case. You can very well enjoy physically and then emotionally your pregnancy and postpartum, and you do not have to be in pain. You do not have to be peeing your pants. You do not have to have pain with intercourse. You do not have to feel like your abdominals and your organs are spilling out. You do not have to feel like you have zero core control and zero core strength after having a baby. You very well can be functional and strong and become your strongest self postpartum. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. If you would like to learn more about healing your core and not having pain and discomfort during pregnancy and postpartum, make sure you follow for more.
This is how we decided that we are one and done. So get ready with me as I tell you about the challenges of being a first-time parent. I have filmed this video many times, and every single time I found myself wanting to redo it. I feel like it's because it is a difficult topic for me personally that I just have to process it as I film it. So here's our story. My husband and I are not strangers to the question, kailan ba yan masusundan? Which basically means, when are we gonna have another child? And the usual response that we give people is to just shrug it off or laugh it off. But a lot of the people who ask that have no idea how scarring it is to hear that question over and over again. Because this is the reason why we are leaning towards not having any more kids. I'm gonna share with you something a little bit cringy and delulu. So when my husband was still my boyfriend, we already picked out names for 3 kids. The first one is for a boy, and then the other 2 are for girls. So we were really hoping and praying to have a boy first. And my son Rafa has always been Rafa. Rafael is a name that we fell in love with ever since we started planning our future, and we never bothered to change it. And in the process of pregnancy and even after giving birth, we truly believed that we were cut out to be parents of 3 kids. We would have another girl named Alex and another one named Ellie. That's short for Elizabeth. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Parenthood is hard. And just like with a lot of things in life, you can prepare all you want, but you will never know the gravity of it until you get there. The journey of parenthood is never linear. You will always have good days, you will always have bad days. And even though the topic of having another child were basically non-existent during the first 3 months of my son's life, as we've gotten into the groove of things and have become better at the challenges of parenting, we truly believe that we can do this again. We can have other children. But when my son was 9 months old, that's when we started to sit down and have this conversation again. I also want to say that my husband is actually an only child, and I have 2 older siblings, and so we can share our experiences of growing up from both scenarios. There are 3 things that we always consider in having this discussion. The first reason is practicality. I feel like a lot of the people who ask about having another child fail to understand the financial responsibility at this day and age. The number one and most obvious thing that you should consider when having a child is your financial capability. And my husband and I agree that with the way things are right now, with work and the economy and the ever-changing demand of the society, it's not wise for us to have another child right now. 5 months ago, we probably would have told you that yes, we can afford to have another child, but now, 5 months later, it's totally different. And these are all factors that are already beyond our control. Long story short, masyado nang mahal ang lahat. And my husband and I both agree that if we are going to have a child, we would only want the best for each child. And that if it is not possible, then we would only settle to give one the best. Another factor that we considered is emotional. As positive as my birth experience was, taking care of a newborn and an infant it's just a whole other story. I often ask myself, can I really go through this again? And not just that, can I go through it again while taking care of another child? The third thing that we always consider in this conversation is my mental health. Can I mentally handle 2 children while I'm overstimulated? Because right now, with just 1 child, it has been a constant battle of finding my peace. And I truly believe that 1 child does not have to accept my rage over the difficulty of taking care of the other sibling. My husband and I have the same vision that we always want the best for the child. And if we feel like we cannot give 100% to one, then there's really no point for us to try and have another. So as of now, with my 17-month-old toddler, I can say that we are probably not gonna have another child. It's honestly something that I'm still grieving about because we both had that dream of having a big family. But at the end of the day, the purpose of having a child is to give 100% of yourself and your capability to love him or her. And if we are not ready as parents to give that to more than 1 child, then I don't think it's for us. Who knows, maybe it will change one day. Who knows, God willing, we might be blessed with another one when we're ready. I have no lessons or takeaways from this, but I do want to say that if you are not a parent that is going through this, please stop asking couples or other parents when they will have a child or another child. Because believe me, we've thought about it and we've wanted it just as much. But at the end of the day, we always decide with what is best for our current family. I don't think it's wise for us to gamble into a future wherein we're not ready. So how about you? Have you thought about this? Thanks for listening. Bye!
I had my first baby around the same time as a lot of other famous TikTokers had their first babies. And now a few of them are pregnant with their second baby. But I'm not having a second baby. One and done here. But I can't help but feel a certain something. I have had so many people say that I will regret my choice. And I don't know. They might be right. It's like I'm having FOMO. I don't know. I'm one and done. And I'm happy about that, but I guess a little piece of me is always gonna wonder if there was gonna be like a brother or sister, how different things would be. But like, I'm totally one and done. I'm getting my period. Oh. One and done. I'm good. I'm just emotional. Yes! Getting my period like tomorrow.
Conversations on mothers that have decided and chosen to just have only 1 child and they are done, right? What is your take on this decision? Do you think it's selfish for them to decide that they should not have children anymore? Or do you think that they're going to regret their choices? Or do you think they are being selfish to their child? Maybe they are thinking about themselves so much and they're not thinking about the only child that they are bringing to this world. Probably the child is going to be lonely and all of that. And are you the only child in your family and you're an adult now? How does it feel? Do you feel lonely? Do you feel like you yourself, can you have only 1 child and be done? Let us have this conversation in the comment section. Well, for me, if you ask me, I don't think there's anything wrong with a woman coming out to say she's not going to have any child after 1 child. And I feel like for most mothers that come out to talk about them one and done, they're mothers that they've seen. Probably they don't even know how the motherhood is going to look like. And they just decide to test it out and just be like, okay, let me just see what this whole being a mom thing is going to be. Let me see if it's going to be for me. So they actually decide to try it and they see that I don't think this is for me. And they're actually saying they don't want to do it again. Probably they've seen that, okay, I don't think this is for me. And they decide like, you know what? I don't want to fake it. I don't want to do something that I'm going to regret later. So they decide to stop, which is fine because, of course, before you can be a good mom, you yourself have to be a good. You have to really want to be a mom. You have to really want to be in that position of having so many children before you decide to be, not just because of society. So when I see someone that say I'm one and done, I'm not doing this again, I respect their decision because I feel like for them to have tasted what motherhood is and they are saying I'm not doing it again, they already know what they know what they're in, they know what being a mom is, and they're like, no. So I just feel like people should respect that. And for people saying that is being selfish or the child's gonna be alone, the child every child needs a sibling or they're going to be bored or blah blah blah. Come to think of it, when it comes to siblings, they're the kind of two people that fight so much. In fact, there's some friends that you will have in your adulthood that you get so close to them and they're just like your sibling, right? And I don't know, you get that very close bond with them that you can never have with your own sister or your own brother, your own family members. So when it comes to people telling this kind of women that your child will be bored, needs a sibling to bond with, do they really need a sibling to bond with? Because how many people are bonding with their siblings now? Like, to be honest, how many people are so close to their siblings now as we thought it was supposed to be? What I'm trying to say is there is no guarantee. There is no guarantee that when you give your child a sibling, they're going to be best of friends. There's no guarantee that they're not going to divide, they're not going to fight, they're not going to, go their separate ways in the future. There is no guarantee. So people telling this kind of women like have another child so that your child will not be bored or there's nobody to play with. There are a lot of people to play with. You can play with your child. In fact, there are toys. Your child can have cousin playmates, go out to play with their schoolmates. I don't think it can be boring unless, I don't know, to be honest. And why is it not just normal for people to just have one child and just be done? Why does it have to be like an abnormal thing? You have to have a conversation. Because when you just have a child and the next time they're already looking at you like, when is the next one? Okay, after 4 years, 5 years, they're like, when is the next one? You're not having another one. Everybody's already like, what is wrong? What is going on? You have to have the next one. You have to have the next one. And when you tell them, oh, you're not having another one, and they're like, are you okay? Just the same way they look at child free by choice women like, are you okay? Like, do you know what you're saying? You're saying you don't want to have kids. I feel like exactly the same way they look at women that just have one child and they're like, I don't want to have another one. And it's kind of abnormal to the society. Why can't just society just make it norm? Yes, you can just wake up one day and say you just want to have one child and done. Yes, you can do that. Like it should just be norm. Like why does it have to be? Why does it have to be a boy and a girl? Because even if you have two girls, society is going to come and tell you try again. You're going to have a male, as if giving birth and getting pregnant is something that you just sleep and wake up and voila, you have your baby, or you can just pick your sex, the sex of your child. It's not like that. Pregnancy, childbirth is, to me, is 50-50. You're facing life and death situation. People lose their life from it. So when people try to want to put people in that same position all over again, just because of what society thinks or it is not the norm, I just feel like it doesn't make sense. And I just feel like people should respect women that decide that they don't want to have children at all, and the ones that they say that they just want to be one and done, which is fine, right? Are we on the same page? Let me know that in the comment section. All right, let's have conversation in the comment section as usual. Thank you so much for tuning in today's video. It's your girl Maria David. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe and kind of put notification bell so you can get notified when I upload another interesting video like this one. And I'll see you all in my next one. Bye.